All right, guys, welcome back to my channel. Hopefully you guys had a nice holiday season with your family, got to spend some good quality time, eating some good food, taking a bunch of days off, not going to the gym, doing whatever you wanted to do, because I was working the whole time. Christmas, whatever the hell that is, New Year's, whatever the hell that is, I've been working this whole time. Haven't taken any days off, but guess what? That's what I want to do. I don't need to rest. I just want to crush my goals. And that's what this video is about today. In today's video, I'm going to go over one of my biggest goals with you guys in 2024, which is taking my Amazon FBA business to $100,000 in revenue a month. And no, guys, this is not a New Year's resolution. I don't believe in New Year's resolutions. And if you're one of the viewers watching this video, you're one of my subscribers, if you have to wait till some special day in the year to start working on your goals, then you are totally screwed, guys. Think about that, because you clearly don't want it bad enough. If you wanted something, you would have started it immediately. You wouldn't say, oh wait, let me wait till Monday, or let me wait till January 1st, and let me just enjoy myself a little bit and then I'll start trying on it. You don't want it bad enough. Just skip the BS, just say that you don't want it, because you're not gonna actually start it. Or you might start it and then you're gonna give up. But I saw a fact somewhere recently that says 80% of New Year's resolutions are given up on within the first 3 weeks of the year, which is crazy. But I kind of believe it, because most people will start something and they can go like 5-6 days, but they can't go a whole year committing to something. They can start it for a little bit, then they realize, man, this is too hard. And I think the reason is because it's really hard to build good habits. But if you can, guys, you can beat those 80%. You can be the 20%. So if you want to be in the 20%, this is your year. You can do it. I want you guys to be successful. And I think 2024 is definitely going to be the year. So with that being said, let's get into the details of my game plan to get to 100K with my new Amazon FBA business. Sorry, before we jump into the details, I just want to clarify that I'm not talking about going from $0 to $100,000. I'm talking about scaling my business from $50,000 a month to $100,000 a month. If you've seen some of my past videos, you'll know that I already set a goal for myself to go from 0 to 50, which I just accomplished this past month. Now I'm talking about scaling it from 50 to 100. So if you are a brand new person who's just starting Amazon FBA and you're starting from 0, the main thing you need to focus on right now is just launching products. Launch as many products as it takes to get at least 1 or 2 products making you 10 to 20 or anywhere from $10 to $50,000 a month. Then you can implement some of these strategies that I'm going to be talking about in this video to really scale them up even higher. Now let's talk strategies. So how do I plan to hit the 100K mark? When you're talking about increasing revenue with Amazon businesses, there's a few ways to do it, but I think the main way that most people know and most people think of is, in order to make more money on Amazon, you just launch more products, which is definitely an effective way to do it, but that's not the way that I've decided to do it. What I've decided to do is, rather than launch more products in different niches, I've decided to just focus on my 2 current top sellers and focus on scaling those brands and just growing those brands and just really pushing them to their max capacity and seeing how much revenue I can squeeze out of those before launching anything else. So as you guys know, I launched a total of 5 products at the beginning of my Amazon journey. And out of those 5 products, only 2 of them have done really well and essentially made up majority of that $50,000 a month that I made last month. So what I've decided to do now is pretty much terminate the other 3 listings and focus all my time, energy, money, everything on just scaling these 2 products. And here are the strategies that I'll be implementing to scale my 2 Amazon FBA brands. So starting with number 1, and this is the most important thing for me, that's why I've written it down as number 1, and that is inventory management. I need to make sure that I have enough inventory, because without inventory, everything else doesn't matter. Like, doesn't matter how much money I spend on ads or do all this other stuff. If I don't have the inventory, there's no way I'm gonna scale. And when you're scaling, inventory is even more important, because you essentially have to predict how much inventory you're gonna need. And that's kind of hard if you don't really know how many sales you're gonna make. So you have to really make an educated guess, essentially. And for those of you who don't know, it's not like you can just order your inventory today and get it tomorrow. There's something called lead time, which is how long it takes to make the product, then plus how long it takes to ship it from the warehouse to Amazon. And for me, that's about 3 months, but I know for others, it's like 4 months, 6 months. So it can be a little bit difficult, especially on 6 months. Like, how do you know how much inventory you're gonna need for 6 months? And especially if you're scaling, you might need to buy enough inventory for, double that. It takes a little bit of getting used to. With that being said, I've ordered a lot of inventory for the first quarter of 2024, so should not have a problem on that front. Moving on to number 2, I'm gonna be focused on increasing my PPC budgets for Amazon. So when you're launching a product on Amazon, obviously the main thing you want is for your product to show as number one organically. But second to that, you also want to have a good amount of ad budget for PPC. And I think the more money you have for PPC, usually the more money you can make, because it's just like anything, if you spend more money on marketing, usually it's going to bring in more sales. But what I'm learning is you really need to do it effectively. You can't just spend a bunch of money and hope for sales. You got to figure out what keywords work. So it's going to require a lot of testing for me, trying to go after different keywords, see what's working. Whatever is working, I'm going to increase my budget for. And then whatever is not working, I'm not going to spend that much money on. So it's going to require a lot of testing and optimizing, but that's definitely one of the factors that I'm going to focus on to scale my products. Going on to number 3, I'm going to be expanding my product line. So I'm going to be making different variations of my products. And I've mentioned this in some of my other videos. This could be different colors, different sizes, or bundling up your product. For example, like if you have a 1-pack, a 2-pack, and a 5-pack, etc. So in my opinion, this is one of the best ways to increase revenue for your product, because essentially you have a product that works well, and now you introduce a different variation of it that you think some people might want, and you get more sales that way, right? And you don't have to create a new listing, because essentially the variation would be on your list, your current listing already. So if your current listing is already at the very top of the page, when they click it, there's going to be 2 things for them to buy, rather than having to scale a brand new listing all the way up to the top, which is a lot more difficult. But you do have to be careful with this, guys, because it is a great way to make more money, but you have to make sure that the variation that you're introducing actually makes sense. It's going to bring new sales to your product, because essentially, let's say if you just have like a product, and then but some people don't buy because it's not big enough for them, and maybe it's too small. So if you introduce a bigger version of it, now you're actually getting more people that wouldn't have bought your product before. Now they're going to buy it, so you have new sales. Or for example, you have like a blue product, but a lot of girls aren't buying it because they're saying they don't like the blue color. Now you introduce a pink one. Now you got new girls that are willing to buy the product. That's a good way to do a variation. But in some cases, people do variations, but it's not adding any new buyers. So for example, it could just be a black and white, and it's the same person who's just gonna choose the black or white. It's not really bringing any new buyers to your listing. Going on to number 4, I'm gonna be increasing the price of my product. And I'm gonna be doing this slowly. I'm not gonna do it right away, but it is something that I wrote down that I wanna do over the next few months. And I'm only gonna do this if my product starts to get a lot of reviews. Because if you increase your price too fast, then what it can do is it can bring down the sales. And essentially, so yeah, your product's more money, but now you've lost sales. So you wanna try and kind of find a good medium where you increase the price, but your amount of sales stays the same, because then you're increasing the revenue, which obviously is increasing the profit margin. So this is definitely something that I want to do, but it's going to be dependent on how well my products are doing and how many reviews I'm getting. Moving on to number 5, I'm going to be focused on growing my social media presence for both of these brands. So that's going to entail reaching out to influencers, getting influencers to hopefully take pictures with the product, maybe make some reels, obviously take more pictures, post more content, etc. Just the normal ways to grow social media. I think this could be a good way to attract people from Instagram, and then get them onto my Amazon listing to buy my Amazon product. Now, I didn't really do this with my previous brands. It's not something you have to do, because there's already people on Amazon. There's already customers on Amazon that are ready to buy your product. But I think this would be an additional way to get more eyeballs on my product from Instagram, for maybe people who didn't search for it on Amazon, and increase revenue that way. And the last and final strategy that I'm going to use is I'm going to launch different products. So not variations of the same product. I'm going to launch actual different products, but within the same brand of my product. So for example, let's say if I'm doing dog toys, right? And somebody buys my one top selling dog product and they love it. They say, hey, this is a great company. They have great quality products. They also see, oh, hey, they have this other dog product, so they'll also buy that. So it's an additional product, but I haven't thought of anything yet, but that is definitely something that I want to focus on. It still needs to meet all the required checklists that I go through. It can't just be any random product. You need to look through the numbers and find something that makes sense, but hopefully it's within the same niche, so you can essentially target the same customers. And if all of that doesn't work to get me to 100,000, then what I will have to do is I'll have to find a different product in a different niche and launch something else that's completely different from the current brands that I'm doing. But I don't think that's gonna happen. I think this will be able to get me to 100,000, hopefully even further than 100,000, but we'll have to see. Scaling any business is gonna have its fair share of challenges. And I know this is not gonna be easy, guys, but I have no doubt in my mind that I'm gonna be able to hit that 100K a month. I'm gonna be tracking my progress and sharing updates with you guys on my channel. As we wrap up this video, I just wanna thank each and every one of you for following my journey. I hope this video inspired you guys to set some ambitious goals for 2024. I want you guys to make this your best year yet. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, guys, and also subscribe to my channel. Also, I want you guys to leave a comment down below. What is your goal for 2024? And also feel free to send me a message on Instagram. I'm more than happy to answer some of your guys' questions there. So with that being said, I will see you guys in the next video.